In previous lecture we were discussing about estimating alpha I, and we get alpha I head is equal to xi dot bar minus x double dot bar. Okay, now we proceed forward, substituting these values in equation number 1. The model becomes xij is equal to x double dot bar plus xi dot bar minus x double dot bar plus xij minus xi dot bar. Now we introduce the error component epsilon ij so that both the sides are equal. Now we transpose x double dot bar to the left and then squaring both sides and summing over I and j, we get double summation xij minus x double dot bar square, and this is your equal to double summation in bracket xi dot bar minus x double dot bar plus in bracket xij minus xi dot bar and bracket close and square. Now we simply square just like a plus b square. Then this is your equal to double summation xij minus xi dot bar square plus double summation xi dot bar minus x double dot bar square plus 2 times summation I xi dot bar minus x double dot bar into summation j xij minus x double dot bar, bracket closed, and this may be written as again this is your equal to double summation xij minus xi dot bar square plus summation I ni in bracket xi dot bar minus x double dot bar square and plus 2 times summation I xi dot bar minus x double dot bar into summation j xij minus x double dot bar. But we know that summation j is equal to 1 to ni xij minus xi dot bar square is equal to 0. Says the algebraic sum of deviation taken from their matrix taken from their mean is 0. This is the simple formula, that is the algebraic sum of the deviation taken from their mean is 0. So we get summation j equal to 1 to ni xij minus xi dot bar square is equal to 0. Hence we have in this way double summation xij minus x double dot bar square is equal to double summation xij minus xi dot bar square plus summation I ni xi dot bar minus x double dot bar square, and let it be equation number 10. Thus we can say this is your equal to total sum of squares. Okay, double summation xij minus x double dot bar square, this is your total sum of squares, and double summation xij minus xi dot bar square is nothing but this is your sum of squares due to error. and plus summation I n I x I dot bar minus x double dot bar square. This is nothing but sum of squares due to treatment. Okay, so we see that total sum of squares is equal to sum of square due to error and sum of square due to treatment. Now we will discuss about the degree of freedom of these factors. So heading is degree of freedom for various sum of squares. Here T capital St square, which is the total sum of squares, and it is computed from n quantities of the form xij minus x double dot bar will carry n minus 1 degree of freedom. 1 degree of freedom being lost because of the linear constant, and that is double summation xij minus x double dot bar square. Similarly, the treatment sum of squares, that is summation I is equal to 1 to k xi dot bar minus x double dot bar, will carry k minus 1 degree of freedom. And the error sum of squares, that is se square, is equal to double summation xij minus xi dot bar square, will have n minus k degree of freedom, since it is based on n quantities which are subject to k linear constant summation j xij minus xi dot bar equal to 0. Hence we see that the degree of freedom for various sum of squares are also additive, since we see that capital N minus 1 is equal to capital N minus k plus k minus 1. Now we find mean sum of squares. It is obtained by dividing its degree of freedom. The sum of squares divided by its degree of freedom gives the variance or mean sum of squares, which is written as MSS. Thus, capital ST upon k minus 1, and this is equal to SST, that is sum of square due to treatment, and divided by k minus 1, which is its degree of freedom, and this is equal to small st square. Small st square is nothing but MSS due to treatment, that is mean sum of squares due to treatment. Similarly, SE square, capital SE square divided by n minus k, and this is equal to SSE upon n minus k, and this is equal to small s square e, and this is nothing but mean sum of square due to error. Hence the test statistics for H naught is provided by the variance ratio that means F test, and F is equal to capital ST square upon capital SE square. This treatment sum of square is divided by its error sum of square due to error, and let it be equation number 12. If H naught is true, then F should take the value 1, otherwise it should be greater than unity. If observed value of f obtained from 12, that is f is equal to st square upon se square, is greater than the tabulated value of f for k minus 1 comma n minus k degree of freedom at a specified level of significance, and usually it is taken as 5% or 1%, then h naught is rejected, otherwise accepted. Means if a value of f calculated by yourself is greater than value of f taken from table, then null hypothesis is rejected, and if f calculated is less than f tabulated, then it is accepted. Once again, if f calculated means value of f which is calculated is greater than f tabulated, then it is rejected, otherwise accepted. Okay, the above statistical analysis is presented in the following table and is known as analysis of variance, and in short it is written as ANOVA table. So we now will produce the ANOVA table for the one-way classification of data. So ANOVA table for one-way classified data, and here we have 4 rows and 5 columns. In first row, this is presented as source of variation, sum of squares, degree of freedom, mean sum of squares, and variance ratio f. In second row, treatment or ration, this is st square, capital St square, and its degree of freedom is k minus 1, and mean of some squares is small st square is equal to capital St square upon k minus 1. Similarly, error in third row, error se square, capital SC square, and its degree of freedom is n minus k, and so it is your mean se square is equal to s small sc square is equal to capital SC square upon n minus k. And in fourth row, s capital T square means total sum of squares, capital N minus 1 means total degree of freedom, and so on. In variance ratio, we see that small st square upon small se square, and this is equal to f and k minus 1 comma capital N minus k degree of freedom. So in this way we prepare the ANOVA table and put the value, and then we decide whether hypothesis is to be rejected or accepted. Here for the point of calculation, some easy calculation process is given. Note 1, for practical problem, total sum of squares is obtained by total SS, which is equal to double summation xij minus x double dot bar square, and this is your equal to double summation xij square minus double summation xij square upon n, capital N, and this is your equal to double summation xij square minus this is your g square upon n, and this g square upon n is known as correction factor, and g is the grand total of all observations. Thus total SS thus total SS is equal to RSS, that means raw sum of squares, summation double summation xij square is known as raw sum of squares. Hence total SS is equal to raw sum of squares RSS minus CF, that is correction factor. Similarly, error sum of square is calculated as double summation xij square minus summation I in bracket summation ti dot का square upon ni, where ti is the total yield from the units receiving ith treatment. Third, treatment sum of squares. Treatment sum of squares is equal to TSS minus SSE, and this is your equal to summation I ti dot bar ti dot square upon ni minus g square upon n, and g square upon n is nothing but correction factor. Now fourth step is that if the error mean sum of square is greater than the mean sum of squares of any factor of classification, then f is calculated by keeping sts small s square in the numerator. Fifth, since the variance is independent of change of origin and scale, hence change of any origin and scale will make calculation easy. In this way, it is suggested that do example 5.1 and 5.2 yourself, and you will see this is very simple but some time taking, so it's no problem. Do yourself this problem. If you have any problem, consult me, I will direct you. Okay, now we will discuss some new topic, that is two-way classification of data. One-way classification, in previous lecture we discussed about one-way classification, and now we will discuss two-way classification. When data is classified considering one factor, then it is known as one-way classification of data, and when data is classified according to considering two factors, then it is called two-way analysis of data. So we have two-way classification of data. When data are classified according to the factors, according to two factors, then it is called two-way classification of data. We consider the case where there are two factors which may affect variate values, that is xij. For example, the yield of milk may be affected by the differences in treatments, that means ration, as well as the differences in variety, that means breed and stock of the cow. If we suppose that n cows are divided into h different groups or classes according to their breed and stock, comma, then each group containing k cows, and then we consider the effect of k treatments. That means rations, that is rations given at random to cows in each group on the in each group on the yield of milk. Let the suffix I refers to the treatment, that is ration, and suffix j refer to the varieties. Then yield of milk xij of n, capital N, is equal to hk cows gives the data for the comparison of the treatment, and the yield may be expressed as follows. Then this is all about of the today class. Next remaining we will discuss in next lecture. So thank you.